What's up, dudes? Oh, that's a little loud, isn't it? That's a little loud. All right, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Bring it down. Where we at? Where we at? Good. All right. Little loud. Right in the, yep, right there. Beautiful. There it is. There it is. Right there. All right, are you ready? We haven't done that. We haven't done this. When was the last time we streamed? I've been so preoccupied with World Cup stuff. When was the last time that we actually streamed? Like Malia. No, it wasn't over a month ago. Was the USA Paraguay watch along when I was literally holding my phone in the next to that aircraft carrier? God, remember that? Been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been 84 years. That's it. Nice. I've been a little busy. I'm sure you've been busy too, watching a lot of games. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what happened to the transition that's supposed to happen when I hit that button. Normally, there's a transition that gives me like 3 seconds to kind of get it together before I just appear. So I just jump scared myself, if that makes you feel any better. I actually just jump scared myself. Sorry. Hi. Yeah, is the World Cup on or something? I feel like the world... Something's on. Everybody seems really distracted. Is there something going on right now? Normally it's between 1 to... Yeah, normally there's like a transition before that, right? Oh, it's Champions League qualifying. That's what everybody's watching. It's Champions League qualifying. It's Champions League qualifying. Ah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Some kind of kickball competition. It's the NFL season. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Now, I've obviously been very busy around the World Cup. We were traveling all over. There's some great YouTube videos that have been filmed. We're going for quality over turning it around the next day. The next one, by the way, like our first YouTube video from around the World Cup, which I think you guys are gonna love. We've gone so hard with it. Is Malia? Yeah, Malia is 100% still alive. Yeah, we're playing Malia today. We've gone so hard with it. It's obviously I've seen the video a bunch. It is great. And I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, there's a couple videos that are all in process at the same time, which I'm excited about. The return of the King of Malia. Yeah, and then Zealandism obviously has been working a lot, but that's not me. So I've just been relaxing, really. I've had my feet up. Why can't U.S. soccer alums and fans stop cannibalizing themselves? I think they need to. I think the ones that I think the U.S. soccer alums that are weird are the ones that go, you know what? Good try, guys. Good effort. You did a good job getting there. I think that's weird. If you do that, I think that's weird. I think it's totally normal for the former players to sit there and go, that's not, yeah, it wasn't good enough. Or like be mad about effort or the way it's handled or, you know. There are some times where I cannot stand Landon Donovan. I think Landon Donovan's been on a heater the last like 4 days. I think Landon Donovan's he's been sticking the landing on just about everything he's said in the last 4 days. And I appreciate that. Review the U.S. team's participation up till their capitulation. Oh, it was good. I mean, the U.S. obviously first 4 games was great. I was impressed. But no, I Landon Donovan's been, I think he's been on it. He's been on it. Some would say he's sticking the landing. Very well said, sir. Can you stop speaking for 30 seconds? I got an ad and I don't want to miss anything. Sorry, we have the minimum amount of ads that Twitch allows. We have the minimum amount of ads that Twitch allows without pre-rolls. Because if I turn the ads below this threshold, then it starts launching pre-roll ads at you. Was I invited to Taylor's wedding? No. But if you want my opinion, and I don't know why anybody would want my opinion on Taylor Swift's wedding, I think it's incredibly stupid to rent out Times Square, or not, to rent out Madison Square Garden for your wedding. You're a billionaire. Go have it on an island where nobody like knows it, you know. If you want it to be so private, don't put it in Madison Square Garden. Did I get involved? Yeah, I was protesting actually. I decided to waste a day standing in front of Madison Square Garden with a sign. How dare you? Rent out one of the few places that makes it that. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not a billionaire. Maybe if I had $1 billion, I'd be like, wow, time to do something dumb. I was the pastor. No, apparently the pastor was Adam Sandler, which is hilarious. Because that is definitely one of those, like, if I was 12 and you gave me $1 billion, who's officiating my wedding? Adam Sandler. Right? Like, that's like a very, you know, Saudi investment fund decision. I saw where you were while I was doing the same thing. Ah, Joe, nice. Also, hi, YouTube. Welcome. Yes. If you don't want ads at all, by the way, you can always subscribe, which a lot of you have already, and I've kind of been putting it off because I'm intimidated by how many names we're about to have to read, but I need you to lock in. Okay? I feel like we're missing names all of a sudden. Wasn't it Reese, the editor, was the first sub, and now all of a sudden that's gone? We might be missing names. I'm sorry if I miss you. D said, thank you so much for the 5 months. Prince, thank you for the 53. Mads, thank you for the 21 months. What in the World Cup is going on here? I have no idea. Andrew, congrats on the 4 years. Propane Burrito, thank you for the 54 months and being a great mod. Dober, thank you so much for the 4 months. Tiberius, thank you for the 74 months. What's up, Z? What's up? What's up, Ophelia? What's up, Alsword? Thank you for the 27 months. Conscience, thank you for the 16 months. Big Red Pete, thank you for the 33 months. Nick Learns Stuff, thank you for the 23 months. Offshore Wasted, thank you for the 19. Jean Canet, thank you for the 37 months. That guy Waldo, thank you for the 36 months. I'm not reading that. James, thank you for the 2 months. Gia, thank you for the 9 months. Alpha Barracuda, Big Dog with the 34. Ryder with the 6. M. Brodak, thank you for the 4. J. Robert Glockenheimer, always a big fan of the name. Thank you for the 7 months. Tim Madison, thank you for the 30 months. Darth Otter, thank you for the 5 months. Kolchov hitting the 3 years. Lindex for the 33 months. Sutsko Cranerin, thank you so much for the tier 1, dude. Reese, thank you for the 58 months. Whoa, we're jumping around. I don't know what just happened. There's so many people subscribing. I think it's just, okay. Which, you guys are awesome. I don't deserve it. I haven't been here in weeks. Basically, we realized that with all of the other things that we wanted to work on during the World Cup and when the World Cup games were being played, it was just not feasible for us to stream for a couple of weeks. I didn't realize that until it was kind of already happening because I'm an eternal optimist that just assumes we're going to be able to do everything always. But unfortunately, that's not how that works. Nerd, thank you for the 39 months. Rimo, thank you for the 2 years. Cruzy, thank you for the 10 months. Awesome Sauce with the 9 months. Congrats on your Twitch child. Platonic Playmaker with the 47 months. Medical Car, thank you for the 52 months. The Bakers double dozen. DJ Harris, thank you for the 9 months. Flenny with the 18. East Coast, thank you. I got it's moving. East Coast, thank you for the 28 months. Bojagan, thank you for the 6. Soccer, thank you for the 18. Rehi, thank you for the 6. Arslan, thank you for the 13 months. Dadam, thank you for the 2 months. Dumpy Gravy, thank you for the 17 months. Einer, thank you so much for the 6 months. Shogun, thank you for the 15 months. Militant Wolf, congrats on half a year. Thank you for the 6 months. Drewski, thank you for the 7 months. Is that the real Drewski? Thank you, Captain Watterson. Thank you for the 21 months. And for the 5 gifted subs, Captain Watterson, hell yeah. Shootout Laces, thank you for the 5 months. Leonard, thank you for the 3 months. Clarky, thank you for the 16 months. Suitman, thank you for the 8 months. Poker Pots, thank you for the 27 months. Hermit, thank you for the 42 months. Big McGuire, thank you for the 3 years. Caro, thank you so much for the 2 months. Welcome back to the Hammers. Thank you so much to Claus Wits for the 4 months. Ninja Panda, thank you for the 74 months. Winfield Palace, thank you for the 25 months. Sarah Skywolf, thank you for the 47 months. Mason, thank you for the 6 months. One at the bottle, thank you for the 43 months. Derbis Maximus, thank you so much for the Baker's the Baker's half century. Thank you for the 51 months. Lene, thank you for the 7 months. Soap McLavish, thank you for the 44 months. O'Connell, thank you for the 21 months. Shrimp, thank you for the 37 months. Zagadu, thank you for the 10 months. Papa Beard, thank you for the half century of the 50 months. And Freddie, thank you for the 27. Dude said it died. Oh. Thank you guys so much for all of the subs. Enjoy your lack of ads. Welcome back to the Hammers. Thank you for continuing to be a part of the Hammers. I still got it. Nose for it. Thank you for the 8 months. Big Nose, thank you so much for the 7 months. Thank you guys. We just spent Jeff Bezos probably just got a notification on his phone from how many Twitch Primes were just used in the process of making that wall of gifted subs. Seriously. Project, thank you so much for the Prime. War Given, thank you so much for the Tier 1. Reese, the editor, thank you so much for the sub as well. Sarah Skywolf with the 5 gifted subs. We just love you so much, Z. No, I appreciate that. I do. Naberto, thank you for the 55. Techlitz, thank you so much for the 4. Freddie, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, dude. Now, Zealandism's been getting some hate recently, but we all knew that guy was a loser anyways. We all knew that guy had some L takes. But Freddie, thank you for throwing 5 gifted. Blurry, Vix, Ichibanbe, Igoroth, and Gold Guns. Enjoy your new gifted subs. From Sarah Skywolf, Robs, Tiedmer, Ayward, Barnes, and Don. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Sarah Skywolf. Thank you, Captain Watterson, earlier for the 5 gifted subs as well. We're absolutely sailing. Absolutely sailing. By the way, have you seen how many vids Zealand's been putting up with his streak? With this streak break, you got to up your game. Oh, Zealandism. Yeah, no, I heard Zealandism's been very busy. Now, that Zealand YouTube channel needs to pick up its stuff. Fortunately, the Zealand YouTube channel is going to be dropping a video tomorrow. So, it is going to be dropping a video tomorrow. Now, I'll tell you what game I've actually gotten addicted to recently. How am I doing? I have gotten, and this has been an absolute pleasure, with my kind of free evenings after the games, right? I have gotten into Skyrim. I have gotten back into Skyrim. Not like I wasn't initially. But I downloaded like one of those huge mod collections for Skyrim and have really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. Playing the hits, dusting off the old jams. Yeah. Well, Ninja Panda has me on Steam, so he probably just gets to see that pop up. Normally, how I like do my workday is I'll open whatever game I want to play and I just kind of leave it on in the background all day. And then I'll like do work and then go back and play and then do work and then go, like alternate. We're never getting a Scrolls 6? No, we are. In 10 years, we're going to get an Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, I don't know. I finally got the like mod pack working because I have the new computer that I got, which has been good. Welcome back. Thank you, Mr. Magoo. Dagoth stream win. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. But this World Cup, I'm not going to lie, with the exception of very few games, including the game yesterday, has been exceptional. This World Cup has been awesome. I didn't see a single issue really coming from there being 48 teams at the tournament. The extra knockout round provided us with so many fantastic knockout games. And now that we're in the quarterfinal, it's kind of weird. There's only 7 games left, right? And today is Belgium, Spain, right? Let me tell you how this is going to go. All right, let me tell you how this is going to go. Spain's going to win. It's going to be France against Spain. And then the other side of the bracket is going to be Norway against Switzerland. And we're going to have one of those things where people are like, oh, the real final is France against Spain, and the other semifinals, Norway against Switzerland. That's just whoever's going to win, is just setting themselves up to lose in the final. And that'll be 100% true. We're going to get France against Spain and Switzerland against Norway in the other semifinal. It's like OKC against the Spurs. That would work if the Knicks didn't just show up and beat the Spurs in the final. No chance. No, look, there's not no chance for Argentina. But I mean, if we're keeping it a stack, Argentina hasn't exactly looked good. Like Argentina has played by far, based off previous results and overall talent of the team, they have had the easiest route to the quarterfinals by far compared to every other team that's there. All 7 other teams have had to play significantly better teams than who Argentina's had to play. Just, again, based off results and talent level. Right? Those teams might have put up incredible efforts that Argentina managed to overcome, and we'll see. But like Argentina in that incredibly easy run managed to make it a huge struggle. They made it like a Herculean struggle to get through. And so, no, I'm not like bullish on the idea that Argentina is going to be able to hang on to their title. They barely survived Egypt and Cape Verde, who between them in their history have one win in 90 minutes at the World Cup. Egypt technically has 2 because they won on penalties against Australia in the previous knockout round. Cape Verde has still not ever won a World Cup game, at all. Look, I love Cape Verde. I'm just saying. Like, if we're talking about the level of the teams that they were battling with and struggling with. England, Norway's scary. Norway is a scary team. I'd argue Belgium's had an easy. I don't know. I think, look, the U.S. obviously just like soiled itself in that game, but Senegal is good. Senegal, United States is inarguably more difficult than Cape Verde, Egypt. I don't think I'm making like a crazy claim there. You know. I don't think I'm going crazy with that. Now, the whole it's rigged for Argentina stuff isn't fair, or like I don't think that's true. But I also think that I think Egypt's disallowed goal was so silly. Like it is. I've tried to make this argument multiple times. I've not succeeded. Here goes, anyways. The reason Argentina getting that goal disallowed is annoying is because, yes, it is correct according to the rule book, but there are a lot of things that are correct according to the rule book that just don't get called because that's just the way the game is played and that's just what's fair. If you were calling the entire game correct to the rule book, like literally what it says in the rule book, there would be a foul on every set piece from the start of the game to the end of the game. It would be a literal penalty shootout over the course of the entire game. Right? Refs are human too, and I totally agree with that. And I'm not trying to suggest that the ref has been bribed or that it's rigged for Argentina. I'm just saying that it's clear that the officials, when certain teams are playing, it's not even just Argentina, will apply the letter of the law more than they apply the letter of the law for other teams. I think that's fair. It was a foul that led to the counter. See, this is why I feel like it makes so much sense in my head, but then when I explain it, I feel like people totally miss the point. And this is kind of this is why live streams are so great because I can continue the conversation. All right, I'm not denying the fact that legally it was a foul. I'm arguing with the fact that it's applied there and that oftentimes the actual legal definition of what is a foul and when to call it is not applied for the sake of the heart of the game. That's what I'm arguing. That's the argument. So if you say, oh, please, it was a foul, I know. I saw it. He stepped on his foot. But it's just not like people pretend that objectivity is objective. Does that make sense? That felt like a bar. Does that make sense? You fall back on objectivity, but you're not willing to have a conversation about the fact that objectivity is not always objectively applied. And that you could go back and find a lot of goals in this tournament that had a pretty similar origin. I just think I think it's a call that is not always made, and I think it's a call that goes against the spirit of the game. That one particular call. If the foul had nothing to do with the play, then yes, it shouldn't be disallowed. But that's not true. According to the letter of the law. If there's a foul at any point in the buildup, legally speaking, whether it had an effect on the final play or not, it should be called because it's a foul. You end up in a position where you're re-officiating parts of the game that I just don't think it even makes sense to re-officiate. It just, if it doesn't bother you, I don't understand you. Like, if that play doesn't bother you, somewhere in the back of your mind where you're like, oh, wow, like that felt weird. If it doesn't bother you, then I don't understand why it doesn't bother you. Argentina were better in. See, this is. Whether Argentina was better in the grand scheme of things or not is not relevant at all, Anthony. It's not. It's not. How is that? That's not relative to anything. We're talking about one play. Of course, Argentina was better. The vast majority of that team plays in the Egyptian league. Bushido Brown said the argument is weak. It's the same thing as arguing a toenail offside shouldn't be called. I think it's actually very similar to that. I think a toenail offside, you look at and you go, yeah, I mean, like legally that's the right call, but God, it just makes you feel dirty. Right? Like Iran's winning goal being called back or Colombia's winning goal over Portugal being called back. You're just like, yeah, it just makes you feel dirty. It's a normal call, happens often. Why would it stop me from sleeping? If you're talking about that call, that is not a normal call. A call with that amount of extreme distance from the foul to the actual goal. I'm not just talking about physical distance, but time and number of actions with the ball. That call's almost never made, particularly in such an important moment. I can't think of any example. Yeah. How will it affect LeBron's legacy? Finally, somebody asks the important questions. The important questions. How does it affect LeBron's legacy? I hear a similar call wasn't made for Algeria. Of course it's not. Because they're like, respectfully, because who cares about Algeria? Like that, like let's be honest. You know, Algerians do, but it's not gonna, like, you're able to get away with it more. And I'm not saying any of this is intentional. I think it's just human nature. Do. Objectively, subjectively, Switzerland's going to win it all. Bro, I believe. Kansas cares. You're right, Kansas cares. Rock chalk Algeria, brother. Rock chalk Algeria. No, I don't know, man. I'm not going to lie. I am sad. I am sad that so many people exist in the world of soccer that I thought only existed in the United States. Or when you go like on the when basically you go like, okay, in the spirit of the game, how do we feel about this call? I don't know. It makes us feel pretty dirty, right? Because Egypt had to do an absolute metric ton of stuff to get the ball from all the way in that corner to all the way in the net on the other end. Right, like a whole play had to unfold, so it kind of feels weird. But then, like in America, you'd always have these people that break out the rule book and they're just like, bam! And they just hit you in the head with the rule book. The world of soccer has now been taken over by those people. How do you feel about Galarza from Paraguay getting away with murder 4 times? I love Galarza. I'm sorry. I love Galarza. I loved him in the game against Germany. He is a terrorist. He is a terrorist. Galarza is, I'll tell you what, he's awful until he's on your team. Once he's on your team, he's your favorite player. Once he's on your team, you're like, I kind of love that guy. He covers a lot of ground. There's like 4 of them on the field at any given time. Yeah, like he's that type of player where if he's not on your team, you absolutely hate him. Yeah, dude, the senator that went after Kylian Mbappe is insane, by the way. The senator that went after Kylian Mbappe. That's the thing, is like you'll oftentimes find the worst examples of racism in the places that you're not normally looking. Like there's certain countries that get roasted for racism all the time, and deservedly so, right? But the craziest racist stuff that you're going to find is usually going to be in a country you probably weren't paying attention to, and then all of a sudden they just show up with something and you're like, she's saying she was hacked. Oh yeah, it's a tough. That's a tough row to hoe there. She's saying she was hacked. She's saying she was hacked. Oh yeah, she was hacked. Yeah, dude, she said stuff that like I'd never even heard before. Yeah, no, well, I don't know what she was doing. My favorite meme out of that is there's like a starving Paraguayan single parent of 4 that's watching their government exchange letters in public comments with Kylian Mbappe. I can't remember the way the post was worded. It was just so funny. It was like, can you imagine being like an impoverished Paraguayan watching like, oh, I'm glad my government's up to something productive. No, Mbappe's really good at that stuff, dude. He doesn't shy away from it. He just says Mbappe's really good at that stuff. Yeah, no, look, I'm not fully caught up on the situation, but her secondary response was basically like, you know, she didn't necessarily say I'm sorry. She's like, in the world I grew up in, that was acceptable language. And I'm like, and then she said it again. You know, she was like, it was acceptable to call somebody, and it wasn't just one word, it was like a string of words. And you're like, oh, we're going again. What year do you think Holland enters MLS? Probably when he's like 35. I mean, he's going to have a long, amazing career. I don't know. She threatened to sue. Didn't she also ask Mbappe to apologize? I'm pretty sure she asked Mbappe to apologize. That's bold. That is bold. Why are there so few East Asian teams in the World Cup? Are we just bad? Yeah. Basically. Indonesia's all right. They got to the last round of qualifying, but West Asia's significantly better at soccer or football, like as a collective. Like China's obviously a huge disappointment. China at this point, they cannot figure out why they can't put a decent team together. In Vietnam, they're not as good as Indonesia right now. Thailand's had like 1 or 2 good players. The Philippines invested pretty heavily in like the diaspora stuff. But they're all like, East Asia is... Oh, look, North Korea, actually... I would say the 3rd best East Asian team behind Japan and South Korea is North Korea. North Korea has been hurt by UN sanctions. Not saying those aren't deserved. I'm just saying. They've been hurt by UN sanctions, and COVID really kind of hurt their national team as well. I don't know if that's because a lot of the guys died or because they didn't play a match for a long time against another country because of like the restrictions and stuff that they had in place. Yeah, I mean, South Asia just likes cricket more and doesn't have a great, development or sporting infrastructure for football, for soccer. Yeah, but North Korea outside of South Korea and Japan, I think is the next best team. And then you've got China and Indonesia that are like competent. But West Asia is generally better. There's a lot of solid West Asian teams. Jordan's a great example of one of the, like, even Syria. Syria has been really close to the World Cup a couple of times. Obviously, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Oman is like really solid and makes it to the last round of qualifying all the time. Bahrain is really solid and makes it to the last round of qualifying all the time. And then Central Asia, you've got Uzbekistan and Tajikistan that are both solid. Tajikistan made it to the quarterfinals of the Asian Cup. Uzbekistan obviously made it to the World Cup. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, Asia is an interesting confederation, obviously, because there's like 50 different areas, but Mongolia is not good. Yeah, Mongolia, there's a stunningly small amount of people in Mongolia. There are only like a couple million people there. Kyrgyzstan, they're better than Turkmenistan. Kyrgyzstan has made the Asian Cup before, but they're not. Tajikistan made it farther, and it would appear they are better. Yeah, Asia's got a lot of different time zones. I mean, the farthest East Asian country, I think, is Guam. Guam is somehow in Asia. And so you have to go like from Lebanon to Guam in the Pacific. Guam should be in Oceania, but Oceania is like very political about letting teams in. And Guam just decided to go the other direction. I'm such a stan for the stands. Bro, I am. I am 100% a stan for the stands. I love the stands. And I was really sad Uzbekistan didn't do that well in the tournament. From Stanistan. And then there's the forgotten stan, Afghanistan, which has a better team than people would think. They're not terrible. Like, there's some teams in Asia that are really terrible, and Afghanistan's not one of them. They actually have like a league and everything. I mean, I don't know what's going on there now, but have you played games off stream these last couple of days? Yeah. I love video games, dude. I'm always playing games. I've gotten back into Skyrim. I've never played like a big mod collection Skyrim run before, so I'm doing that now, and it's been a lot of fun. Am I a stan for Stans? Always. Hope Daddy Stans is doing well. I know he just had the kid. I could walk from Paris to Tokyo in a day. Could barely fly from Paris to Tokyo in a day. As an Indian, I have no hope for the next 100 years. No, I think you should. You're very fortunate if you're India, right? That you're in a confederation, right? You're in Asia where you have, it's pretty easy to get out. Yeah, India also has to accept its diaspora, dude. India has to accept its diaspora. If you want to play for the Indian national team, you can't have a passport from any other country, and that would like literally ruin the professional careers of, let's say, any British player. Like, there was a guy who's, I think he plays for like Motherwell or something. He's in the top Scottish league, and he's like half Indian, but he can't play for India because if he switched his passport to Indian, his club would not be able to like keep him. Literally, his club would not be able to keep him because of like the rules and everything. And so, you know, these guys, like, you talk about these guys, well, why don't they commit and play for India? It's like they can't. Like, his career, he would have to literally find a new league to play in because he wouldn't be able to play in Scotland anymore if he committed to play for India. He would lose his British citizenship. You know what country's like insane about that? Is freaking the Netherlands. The Netherlands you can only have a Dutch passport. You cannot have any other passport. That's crazy. And I like the Dutch league is starting to wake up to it, and they were going to have like a huge lawsuit. I never knew what happened with it, but basically because all these Dutch players that were, they have a Dutch passport when they register for the FA, but then they play for Morocco, they play for Indonesia, whatever. All of a sudden, they're starting to be like, wait, these guys don't have Dutch passports, and one of the teams was like starting to sue. They're like, hey, these guys are using illegal players. It came to nothing. Okay. Did anyone beat the Curacao Challenge? I think a couple of people. We're going to see. The winner of the Curacao Challenge will be announced in a few days, I think. Still going through it right now. These ad breaks are long as heck. I don't know. A Dutch native, you cannot accept a different passport. You'll lose your Dutch nationality. Yeah, no, I researched it once before and read a couple articles about it. I thought it was like 600,000 a year. Or is the, dollar versus euro that bad? No. In the end, it became a nothing burger. As it should, honestly, in my opinion. I think, personally, it's goofy for countries to only allow you to have that passport. I think that's goofy. I like China's the same way. I know China's the same way because Chinese American people, there are a ton of them. I'm obviously friends with some of them. Some family members have tough decisions to make about like, do I get my American citizenship or do I stay like Chinese citizenship? So you go back and forth. Yo, Waffle! Wafa, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Yo, if you got a gifted, be sure to say thank you. Yeah, what's wrong with this right here? What's going on with this? Edit. There we go. I fixed it just for you. We had to fix the wow. Thank you for the 20 gifted, Wafa. We've had a bunch of subs come in. Patty, thank you for the 57 months. Loibster, thank you for the 53 months. Thank you so much, Uncanny Tina, for the 21 months. Night Virus, thank you for the 58 months. Mike, thank you for the 77 months. Dissociate, thank you for the 6 months. Rafaz, thank you for the 34. Murderous Otter, thank you for the 57 months. John, thank you for the 64 months. Chocolate Cosmos, thank you for the 43 months. Quadruple Double, thank you for the 44 months. Dave, thank you for the 5 months. Forrester, thank you for the 62 months. Gauzy Goose, thank you for the 42 months. South Mr. Penguin, thank you for the 7 months. Dadam, thank you for the 31 months. Stoppage Time, thank you for the 4 years. Huddy's Bear, thank you so much for the double Baker's double dozen, 26 months. Kingstopher, thank you for the 9 months. Pultz, thank you so much for the funny number months. JC, thank you for the 45 months. Brookler, thank you for the 20. MD Games, thank you for the 58. Mablaba, thank you for the 20. Elliot, thank you for the 52. And R, thank you for the 8. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's get into Malia because the World Cup is sneaking up on us. Welcome back into the Malia-verse, shall we say. Welcome back into the Malia-verse.
Hi there, Zed.
The Malia universe. Yo, Wafa, thank you for the 4,000 bits. Thanks for the World Cup coverage coming back. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing that.
Coverage got me back
I
into
don't know
soccer
why.
after years away.
J-Lab, thank you for the 65 months. That was me. That wasn't you. I'm not hearing the notifications, but alas. I heard Zealand was trapped in a glass box. Glad to know he's escaped. I did actually visit the guys that are watching the matches in Times Square. They were very nice. Good dudes. Hell of a box they've got. All right, this is the UD Malia squad as we have it right now. Gianmarco Villalva, Sergio Otero, Angel Cañete, Luis Alberto Ferreros, Alison Lopes Teixeira, Danny Ivande, Ruben Sosa, Jaime Gutierrez he's still here. Leo Versales, Pablo Revert, Jens Kjar, Yuri Urbanic, Raul Sarai, Francesco Sessa, Lucas Egger, Salvador, got it, Kelvin Mbambo, Javier, Cesar, Miguel Rubio, Luis Miguel Navas, Ovi Ejahiri, Mark Casado, Andrew Ortega, Ziviro Havacote, Facundo Aguirre, Bungani Van Royen, Paul Duran, Nicolo Savona, Joao Aguiar, Tim Schmidt, Kenny Gonzalez, Sam Bassar, and Janar. Forgot about Lucas? True. And our current transfer activity. We're looking at 18-year-old striker Francesco Marcangeli. He's a pretty young 18-year-old forward who we would probably look to develop. He's not somebody that goes straight into the first team. And we're looking at a loan for Aaron Ruiz. And we're looking at a loan for Kenny Gonzalez. To give those guys some time. Now, we are hoping to move a few people. If you don't remember, Facundo Aguirre is on the block. Javier is on the block. We're looking to move both of those guys right now. And Ruben Sosa is on a requested transfer list for $77 million. Which, is his release clause. So we're gonna ride that out. He's under contract for a long time. So either Barcelona pays $77 million for Ruben Sosa or they don't. But we have some registration drama that we're currently dealing with. And that people that don't fit in the team right now would be Jens Kjar, Andrew Ortega, Javier, who we're currently courting offers, right? He's transfer listed with Chelsea, Fulham, and Liverpool, all looking at him, and we'd be very happy to make that move. Andrew Ortega. Facundo Aguirre is also already on the transfer list, so, we're aware that we need to move him. And then Joao Aguiar. We're going to figure out what we want to do there. We're going to figure out what we want. I don't know what we want to do, but we're going to figure it out. Oliver, thank you so much for the $5.
New to the stream but have been watching your vids for a while. D, would you please advise me on this player? He looks like a gem in my eyes. I need your counseling.
All right, sure. Thanks for the $5, dude. If I get rickrolled, you're banned. Oh, he's 15. Yeah, sign him. What opinion do you need? I need your counseling? No, this guy's 15 years old. He's insane. I mean, it's a 15-year-old striker. Dude's got, if you see multiple 15s and, look at the base athleticism, this dude could have 19 to 20 pace. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of opinion that goes around. You just sign him. He professional, and professionalism goes up as they get older. So if he's professional at 15, 20 determination, it's got all the things that make you believe that he's going to be a great player. Yeah, you don't need a lot of an opinion on that. That guy's just insane. You don't need my opinion on that. That guy's just nuts, man. By his entire family. Pretty sure they made that illegal, but you can always ask. All right, so our registration, our La Liga squad registration, which is completely full, means we're going to need to move on from Sambasar, at least send him out on loan so that maybe he can actually get better at some point in his life, because he is very stagnated development-wise. And we're also going to need to loan Timmy Schmidt. But I think we're hanging on to the goalkeepers right now because we want to see if Ruben Souza gets the offers that people are looking at for him. I wouldn't hate an offer for Yuri Urbanik either. He's open to speaking to other clubs. We're going to float an offer out, and we're going to hit continue in the Malia save for the first time in like 3.5 weeks. Oh, man, the withdrawals are over. Dolmisa, thank you so much for the 62 months. Vazanov, thank you so much for the 4 months. JLab, thank you for the 55 months, or 65 months. Gotta get the number right. Bagpuss, thank you for the 65 months. You guys might have heard this, but I didn't. It's not coming through for me. My girlfriend woke me up in the middle of the night mumbling, "My precious, you shall not pass. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard." Turns out she was Tolkien in her sleep. Oh, I hated that. B+. Terrible. Terrible! No offers for Javier. Where's the agent on this? Oh, yeah, baby! $65 million offer from Rayo Vallecano. The agent can get that presented to me today. Oh, this is a great start to the day. This is a great start to the day. Yes, sir. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's made my day. Okay. Allison Lopes Teixeira gets number 9. Leo Versalis gets number 4. Lucas Knifen's going to get 23. The real question is who has 20. It's still Kelvin and Bombo. I think we keep Kelvin and Bombo in the 20. That stands to reason for me. I'm going to put Casado in 14. We're going to put Jens Kjær in the number 26 here. Luis Alberto Ferreros is going to get 5 over Facundo Aguirre. Facundo Aguirre is going to have his number passed up. Salvador wants 2. I mean, Cañete, does he care what number he gets? No. He doesn't care what number he gets. So we can just give Cañete a different number. We'll give him 19. He needs to change the juju after last year anyways, and Salvador is now part of the first team, so we definitely want him to be around. Cesar taking Sambasar is number 24. Nicola Savona is going to take 18. Jaime Gutierrez, this guy should always be in the 40s. Pablo Revert, 21. Luis Miguel Navas, 22. Ovi Ejahiri, 99. Backup goalkeeper. And that's it for guys that should actually play for the first team this year. We'll keep the 20. We'll keep the 20 on Kelvin and Bombo. That's where it should be.
As a Canadian, this
$65 million
really
for Javier, who we signed for free not that long ago.
It's amazing.
Mateo Señaris, transfer listed for $41 million. Sorry, I don't see the vision on $41 million for you. I don't see the vision. As a Canadian, this World Cup has really made Canada a soccer football country. It's amazing. Dude, I went to Canada, Qatar. I was there. Oh, that's true. I suppose I should have talked about. I've been to 5 World Cup matches now, which I'm so unbelievably fortunate to be able to do. And like, you know, it's a once in a lifetime sort of thing. And that Canada match was awesome. Like the Canadian, I was in the Canadian. I've significant amount of my family's from Canada, so I just became a Canada fan for the day, unironically. And the Canadian March was fantastic. Any more on the agenda, dude? I'm not selling any organs on the black market to be able to afford another match. How long did it take you to walk to all of them? The walk to the New York, New Jersey stadium was that was an ordeal. You don't need both kidneys, true. Yeah, the cheapest get-in ticket for the World Cup final is over $10,000 now. In case you were wondering what's going on over here. Fulham sign Balde. Does that make me mad? I don't think so. Heads up about Kjaer. Yeah, I know. He wants to be registered for La Liga, which makes sense. I don't want to leave him out of the squad. I really like Jens Kjaer. I think he's got an incredibly bright future. I think he actually played pretty well when we gave him opportunities. Did we give him? I feel like I played him. Or no, we just signed him and instantly loaned him. Why do I have memories of this guy playing? Did I dream those? He's not expecting anything from me at the moment. Okay. Ibar have made a Facundo Aguirre offer. This is going to piss me off, isn't it? Oh, it's not as bad as it was. It's not like 2 million. It's like 6. Okay, it should be more, but he would prefer Mallorca. All right, well, I would prefer 10 million. So let's try 9.5. Thank you. All right, Aguirre, there is your potential offer. It's not nearly as sexy as we would have hoped, but he doesn't really like big matches. He's not a big match player. He is a big player. He's huge.
81 months.
But we don't. He's not part of our rotation anymore. We're promoting Salvador.
Mombat, Adler, Boggs the Cat, this awesome elite online gaming community and the excellent content you continue to publish. Gerando Ichiban. Zealand is number 1.
Automatrix with the 81 months. That's absolutely insane. Guys, thank you so much for all the love coming back and streaming. Streams are going to be a regular occurrence, obviously, going forward. The World Cup has slowed down enough that we just have time to stream again. You know who also doesn't like big matches? Dude, like, I think in certain senses, everybody was so preoccupied with the hate watch that they didn't, like, the United States didn't get the amount of, like, the U.S. more so than I think basically any team outside of maybe Germany at this tournament just was terrible. Like, relative to the way the U.S. played in the first 4 games, I know Belgium was the best team we played, but they, it's not like we were playing France. It was amazing how bad the U.S. was in that game relative to the way that the U.S. played in the rest of the tournament. It was astonishing. Astonishing how bad they were. Torenbray. Sean Gigo off the mark. Cadiz declare interest. Clubs join race for Facundo. Oh, now Facundo Aguirre is like the hot kid on the block. Once one offer comes in, all of a sudden it's like a bloodbath in here. All right. Rayo Vallecano have offered 9.5. Oh, come on. All right, now I'm on that stupid other screen. Okay. Oh, are these all locked offers? Okay, dude. I gotta get used to the idiosyncrasies of this game. Again. No, I think I'll just take the 9.5 then. I'll take the other 9.5 and dump the other 2 in the river. All right, Rayo Vallecano and Ibar competing for Facundo Aguirre's signature. We're going to offer him out for $15 million, see if we can get anybody to bite. And now on to Javier, where Rayo Vallecano has come in with a $65 million offer for the 20-year-old Spanish winger and forward that we don't really see as fitting in as a part of our team right now.
I asked my friend if we have a better option than Dest on the right wing, and he looked me dead in the eyes and told me to lace my boots up. I fear I might be getting drafted.
Dude, Dest was so bad in that game. Serginho Dest was so bad in that game. I celebrated his substitution. Audibly. Oh, this is one of those center backs that has no height. Okay, well, have fun. Okay, we accepted that transfer. Carlos Gonzalez on the move. That's fine. Rodrigo Lira is now a Spanish citizen. Yay. Now maybe I'll be able to loan him. Oh, no. And that citizenship has apparently spiked his value dramatically. We just got to find a place for this guy to go because he's really getting mad at me that I'm not giving him a new contract where I pay him a ton of money to be bad. No offers for Javier. Well, I mean, let's not be hasty now. There could be other offers. Oh, okay. That feels excessively hasty. Belgium was really good. I mean, look, I know Belgium's better than the US, but not by that much. Now, that should have been a game. The United States gave Belgium 2 to 3 goals in that game. Gave them 2 to 3 goals in that game. Handed it to them on a silver platter. Walked up to him and handed it to him. I mean, the goalkeeper one is obvious, and goalkeeper was probably our worst position coming in, that or center back. And I think that got exposed pretty convincingly. But goodness gracious, man. Nah, I mean, look, the United States beat Paraguay 4-1. Got up early on Australia and then just coasted. Backups against Turkey. And then, really dominated and controlled the game and beat Bosnia. The United States looked good. I know they weren't playing the best opposition, but I think Paraguay proved that they weren't the easiest team to play against. I think Bosnia and Herzegovina had proved, obviously, before they even got to this tournament, that they're not the easiest team to play against and have success against. Right? Like, it, even relative to the opposition, the U.S. looked good. And in that game against Belgium, the U.S. just, the way I worded it was like, yeah, Belgium played their best game of the tournament, but the U.S. lost it more than Belgium won it. That's a pretty common thing to say, like, in U.S. sports, is like, did they win the game or did the other team lose it? And it's more like, I mean, the U.S. just gave the game away in the second half. That third goal was diabolical. The first goal was terrible. Terrible. The U.S. lost to both decent teams they played. I mean, goodness gracious. We had a very rotated team for Turkey. And also, Turkey's not very good. I think they proved that pretty convincingly at this World Cup. They lost to Paraguay and Australia. So I think, if anything, that if you're going to say that loss to Turkey is relevant, it's a terrible loss. Zealand, I am Bosnian. I've been watching your videos forever, and not a single American was as respectful as you. How do you do that? Like, genuinely, how? I think that one, you didn't hear what I was yelling at my TV during the game. But I think so often, because of the way the internet works, the only thing people see is the loudest, most aggressive, most, Like, it amplifies loud people. Yeah, did you speak to any Americans or interact on Twitter? That's a great, yeah. I think also on the internet, people will usually only post things if they have like really distinct takes. And I think the vast majority of, people's takes are not really controversial or distinct or loud or incredibly opinionated. It's always important to remember the vast majority of people's opinions on something is kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Release the footage. Now, I was during the match upset with the physicality and flopping the Bosnians combined, but obviously, like, I don't know. I think I try to be objective. It's impossible, but I try. You can at least trust me to be authentic to like, I'm not pushing an agenda. Sometimes my opinions are wrong. If they're wrong, I'd like to hear why so that I can change them. I don't like having a wrong opinion. But, I try. You just have to try. Authentically try. Is Pulisic the LeBron James of soccer? Bro, I'm not going to lie. Pulisic, he didn't do it for me in this tournament. Christian Pulisic did not do it for me in this tournament. Weston did. Weston McKennie.
Hey Zed,
Flo Balogun.
No, I finally completed the Pentagon. Thanks for
Alex
your help
Freeman
saving that save.
Hey, Shenry, congrats. 6 of the 33 months, dude. Also, Sam, thank you for the 34 months. Why so? Thank you so much for the 3 months of the Prime, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, Tillman, obviously. Yeah, Malik Tillman, 100%. It's the best I've ever seen Malik Tillman play for the U.S. That was really refreshing. But, yeah, Pulisic didn't do it for me. Adams did kind of in moments. Anthony Robinson didn't really do all that much. But no, it was, I think I liked Sebastian Berhalter at this tournament. Never thought I would say that. I liked Sebastian Berhalter at this tournament. He was kind of what you need off the bench. I think he did his job. If everybody did their required job the same way Sebastian Berhalter did his, I think we would have been way better off. I liked Bert. Yeah, I liked Bert. I liked the energy he brought. I liked the pressure that he put on the goal. I like, he looked a little loose with the ball at times, but there was a stretch even against Turkey where against this great like Turkey midfield, Sebastian Berhalter was like the best midfielder out there. Didn't Pulisic have a fracture of some sort? I'm trying to be very careful here. Christian Pulisic was soft in this tournament. He was soft. I don't think he wanted it enough. I don't know if that's... I don't... There's something just going on in his mind. I don't know what it is. I don't know his life. I just don't think he was all there. I don't think he wanted it enough. He was soft in this tournament. He didn't give me the... Like... It's a home World Cup. He didn't give me the once in a lifetime opportunity vibe that I feel like he should have. I think he was soft. He's a tremendous player. I think for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just because his girlfriend broke up with him. A lot's been made of that. You know, maybe like the breakup was really hard on him or something and he just wasn't mentally right and just wasn't able to do. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. He was soft in this tournament. He didn't have nearly the intensity. He did not have the, like, he didn't have the willingness to die on the field. Not literally, but like, you know, you get like, it's a home World Cup, man. Like when I saw him limping around after the kick play, I'm like, show me blood or show me a limb hanging. If I'm not seeing either of those things, you play. You play. I think this is where, like, people always clown on women's football because they're like, oh, they lost to the U15 men's. It's like, yeah, obviously physically men's football is going to be in a different level than women's football. But you know what? Mentally, it's not that dissimilar, especially like if we're talking World Cup level or whatever. And especially if we're talking about the U.S. women's team and the amount of massive public scrutiny that they get, it's very similar to the men's. And I think Carly Lloyd was a great example of the difference in mindset because Carly Lloyd, who won a World Cup, you know, scored a goal from midfield in a World Cup final against Japan, which was, until recently, the most watched soccer match in the U.S. ever. She sat down on the set and was just like, soft. That's literally what she said. She cooked. She was just like, they were weak. Like the U.S. women's team, who's won an entire bundle of trophies, right, was just sitting there and they were like, they were soft. They didn't play like winners. They didn't play with the desperation that they needed to. And I was like, this is what
Freeman
the women's team can help
coming
with.
Back to, but
is
I
that
struggle
mentality.
to see him sticking at RB long term. Feels like a DM more. Thoughts?
No, I like Alex Freeman as a right-sided center back and a back three. That's where I think he fits, where he can overlap late, but Alex Freeman is just he's a dog. I really like Alex Freeman. I don't know if he has the technical ability to play as a defensive mid. Carney, thank you for the prime. I think you stick him on the outside so that he can use his mental and physical ability to just be a dog. Maybe he proves me wrong. I don't know. Tender, thank you for the 63 votes.
Hello Zed, I just wanted to make sure you and chat know just how good dried grapes are for you. I am raising awareness.
You're raising awareness. All right. All right. All right. Oh, I remember how I was doing this now. All right, end of contract. Melvin Bard. I had to go to the top right because they removed like the reason they were on the scouting center list, which is just hilarious and ridiculous, and I have no idea why they would ever do that. But all right, end of contract done. Wonder Kid Eastern Europe. David Mishanovic, got it. Wonder Kid Southern Europe. Mohammed Kamai. Well, that potential's definitely holding up. And then requested reports. We have 6 agent offers. 6 agent offers. Freeman fits the UD Malia system. Dude, I would love to have them. Yeah. I saw the interview with Adam Cleary. Why'd you have to show? I didn't know I was leg mogging him that hard. That angle was very flattering. Okay, so who would the funniest team to win be? Dude, at this point, the funniest team to win would be Switzerland because Switzerland's the one team that's left at the World Cup that absolutely nobody's given any thought to them winning it whatsoever. Like, the funniest team to win it would be Switzerland. Because everybody's just kind of like, oh, yeah, you know, Switzerland's just kind of going along. Oh, wow, I can keep the foot screen up. Nice. Like Marlucio gets moved to the yes list personally. Omer Esquichi. Oh, I remember when they signed Omer Esquichi, wasn't it? It was a lot of money. Wait, Manzambi's out for the whole tournament? What'd he do? Pop his knee or something? Bro, Manzambi out for the entire tournament that's rough. Why does that happen to Switzerland, you know? Hey, Tactical, thank you for the $12.36 super chat, my dude. Zealand Wire or the Alexi Lawlesses and Donovans of the world saying that football is pay to play in the U.S. It's probably the cheapest sport. Like 22 guys share one ball. I don't even really know how to explain this to people that don't grow up in the United States. I'm going to try. Youth sports in the United States costs money. It costs a lot of money. The good news for like American football players or basketball players or baseball players is that your high school is going to have a team where you can play the sport for free. And when it comes to American football, high school into recruited to college into professional is a direct pipeline. When it comes to basketball, you're likely going to need to find some money to play AAU, but if you're good enough, then oftentimes they'll bring you along just for giggles on the AAU team, and you play like a circuit while also playing high school basketball. In baseball, you can just play high school, but normally you just play high school and then play travel ball. Now, for basketball and baseball, that's going to cost money. Travel baseball is usually the most expensive because you have to play the most. And there's plenty of stories of families not even just not taking vacations, but like selling a car or something to be able to afford it. We're talking about thousands of dollars. We're not talking about like a $50 join the team fee, because there's no senior team. There's no funding structure to run the team. The entire team is run by the fees that the parents pay in order for the kids to be on the team. So the entire operation is funded by the parents paying for their kids to be there. It is not funded from anywhere else at any point. Now, soccer in the United States is in a more difficult position because while high school soccer does exist, it is very often not recruited from by anyone. Yan Diamande was playing high school soccer in the U.S. That's not how they found him. They found him because he was playing like 4th division amateur NPSL or whatever in the US, and he was like the best player on the best team in that league, and then he got some trials and then made it out from there. But soccer out of those 4 sports, right, has the weakest high school to professional pipeline by far. And so if you just play high school soccer, you really don't have any opportunity to go anywhere. You're just going to play high school soccer and then go to college or get a job. So if you want to get picked up by somebody in soccer particularly, you have to play travel ball. And in order to play travel ball, right, to join a club soccer team, you have to pay money. You pay thousands of dollars every year to be on, to have your kid be on this travel soccer team. And that travel soccer team will then go around the state, maybe even go out of state once or twice a year, but that'll be more money, right? If you want your kid to go on that trip, you got to pay for the hotel, you got to whatever, and to go play in these different tournaments. And you're hoping that the kid gets picked up by, one of the bigger U18 club teams. Because when I'm saying club team, I'm very often not talking about MLS academies, because those are random kind of and pretty far flung. These are clubs that stop at U18. They're just youth sports enterprises. And so you'll, hope that you end up on one of the better ones of those. And then you compete for, like, I grew up in Florida, and so we would compete for, like, the state cup, and whatever. But that's all. It's all just like this youth tournament. It'll be like a weekend somewhere, right, where you just play all these games, and then honestly, the vast majority of kids that do that at that point, just stop at U18. They'll stop and they go get a job, or because if you haven't somehow been plucked out of that really massive disorganized system to play for like a USL team or an MLS academy or something, then your career is just over. There is no continuation of the career. There is virtually, unless you're unbelievably determined and really seek it out, no semi-professional level that you fall into. There is just nothing outside of like intramural men's leagues that get organized by companies that, again, just, you pay like $200 and then play a season with some of your friends or whatever. But the issue is that if you want your kid to play travel soccer from the age of like 12 on, which is basically the only way to become a member of the U.S. national team, an American professional player, you have to pay, like, from 12 to 18, anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. Like, pay. Because these clubs are based off the way youth sports works and other youth sports in the United States. And they aren't funded by anything else than what the parents pay. So the coaches are paid by what the parents pay. The administrators are paid by what the parents pay. The travel fees, the balls, the cones, are paid by what the parents pay. And so Landon Donovan, this is why I said Landon Donovan's been cooking. Landon Donovan hits you with a stat that only 2% of, like, club soccer players in the United States come from a family that makes less than $50,000 a year. Soccer is an upper class sport in the US because financially it has to be. Where the lowest class sports in the US are football, basketball, because the opportunities that are provided to people to play those sports require a lot less money to participate. But, like, the problem that you always run into in the United States is this gets brought up, and Landon Donovan was talking about it. And then Alexi Lawless, who's basically a sentient carrot,
the World Cup
right?
stadium
Hold on. Alexi Lawless shows up and goes, all of these people that run all of these youth clubs are business people. And, if the parents aren't going to have to pay for it, like, then who's going to pay for it? And that's his argument. And it's like, well, that's the whole conversation we're having, is that the money that U.S. soccer makes should be invested in some sort of system. And here's another part of it. Here's another part of the problem in the United States. The United States, there's compensation payments. Like, clubs oftentimes around the world will live off of compensation payments. If they have one kid that becomes a pro, they get, $50,000 or something when that guy signs $1 million, does his transfer. Like when DeAndre Yedlin did his transfer, his childhood club claimed $60,000 under FIFA compensation. They never got paid. So not only does the U.S. have a system where these clubs have to generate their own funding, like at the youth level, the compensation system also doesn't work. And then you add in that you have the MLS, which I think MLS is it's done really well to grow to the point that it's gotten to. But I think MLS lacks the long-term vision of developing the sport in the US in lieu of short-term selfish gain. We need one unselfish person in the system, and we don't have it right now. Right? MLS is big on trying to make sure that the only soccer that happens in the United States is literally MLS. It would be like the Premier League trying to suffocate non-league. Can you imagine the reaction if that was what was happening? Right? They're like actively attempting to suffocate and undercut non-league teams. Sounds like the whole thing needs a revamp. Yeah, I mean, it does. The United States has a lot more soccer talent at the youth level than people realize, but the vast majority of those kids get zero. Not only are they unaware of the opportunities that they could have if they move to another country, but they are provided with almost zero avenue to develop or to go. You know, forget about the fact that it is an upper to middle class sport in the United States. That your household basically needs to be making at least $50,000 to be able to play. Right? If we just took the kids that are playing right now and gave them the opportunities that a kid that's born in London gets, the United States would be better than it is now, significantly. It'd be better, significant. I mean, look, I was the backup goalkeeper on the 6th team in the country. And this is an example, if you've been around long enough, you've heard me use before, but it's my favorite one because it makes sense. I was the backup goalkeeper on the 6th team in the country in high school. I was a vibes hire, great vibes on the bench. There were a lot of guys on that team, and I watch ball all over the world. That if when I'm in the Faroe Islands watching that team, when I'm in Gibraltar watching that team, when I'm in Ireland watching an Irish match, right? When I'm watching these lower league matches, when I'm in Taunton watching that team, there were a lot of players on that team that at 17 years old were physically capable and technically capable of playing at those levels. Like, could genuinely play on those teams. When they graduated high school, they went to college and never played again. Because there was just there was no viable avenue for them to go down. There was zero viable avenue for them to go down. Don't compare League of Ireland to high school. Dude, I don't know, like, basically these guys are 18 years old, right? The center backs on my team, the starting center backs that I played with on that team were 6'4", 210 pounds, and 6'1", 195. And the 6'1" guy was built like a brick house. Like, if we're just talking about physical ability alone, those guys were unbelievable. They were, you know, and I know obviously athleticism doesn't make the player, but obviously if they're on the 6th best team in the country, they have some technical ability as well. It's like the U.S. knows how to grow these things, right? We got, you know, freshmen in high school that are 6'5", 320, right? Like, I wasn't even the first person to say it. I know my mom's not a scout, but it was a family trip to Ireland. And when we left the game, she was like, oh, you should tell some of your guys to come play over here. It'd be fun. Like, they could totally play, like, with those guys. That was just the first thing my mom said after we left. She was like, oh, that's like one of your high school games. Yeah, the only one kid from that team had the determination to pursue a professional career, which it's what it requires, is like a lot of determination to seek it out, to give up the normal, like the accepted trajectory of athletes and just people in the United States. And that was Derek Gebhard, who plays for Forward Madison, USL. I keep up with him. We talk every once in a while. Good guy. But yeah, I think the U.S. has a combo problem of a lot of kids that maybe would be interested in the sport don't have the opportunity because of the financial barriers. And then a lot of the kids that are able to participate in the sport anyways, aren't provided with any sort of obvious pathway to develop or to continue the development or to do anything, you know? Yeah. And I think the last part of that conversation is that frequently the United States is viewed as something closer to like India or China when the US has been in the round of 16, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022. The US has been in the round of 16 5 of the last 6 World Cups. It's not like the US national team is bad. It's not like the US national team is new. The US national team has been more consistently in the round of 16 than Switzerland over that run. You know what I mean? Like the U.S. team is obviously hard stuck the same way Mexico is with the round of 16, and the same way Japan is. There's just some like voodoo magic that South America and in Europe have cast over the quarterfinals that only Morocco can break. But the U.S. is not a bad team now. So what you're saying is the U.S. is every U.S. player is a spoiled brat who has a silver spoon laid out for them since they were young. I mean, you also need to understand something financially because there's a lot less like this. Okay, I obviously travel a lot, got your friends all over the world, so I've had this conversation before. So I'm going to try and lay this on you delicately. The United States people make more money because less of it is taken in tax, but then they have to pay more money for everything. So somebody that makes $50,000 a year is not necessarily as wealthy as people that make $50,000 a year in other countries. That's a more normal level of income in the United States than it is in a lot of other countries. But you kind of have to slide the scale a little bit. You have to so like if you hear that, you might translate it to your country and your current, your currency and kind of the way that that's set up and be like, oh, those are all rich kids. It's like, it's kind of like middle class up. Yeah, like 100K in the US is like 60K in Germany. Yeah. I don't know if that's exact, but that's like, you have to slide the scale. So when you hear 50,000, slide that down a little bit. Obviously, it still cuts out a lot of people, but it doesn't cut out as many people as you think it does if you're from like another country that maybe applies a lot more tax on the front end, where in the US, you kind of just get like hammered on the back end because everything's more expensive. $60K in Ireland's doctor's level earnings? Yeah, no. Okay. In the US, if you're a doctor, you're making at least 350K. But then again, that's US like healthcare stuff, so I don't really know exactly how that yeah. Yeah, if you're making 50K as a whole family in the US, you are kind of just getting by, yeah. Do, 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 do. All right, I requested a scouting report on this guy. Really? Why? Why did I do that? I don't remember doing that. Do, 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 do. Oh, Andre Guerrero. It's been a while. Hassan Wadrogo. Naif Alisa. Nigel McMahon. I didn't realize the disparity was that wide. No, I realize, you know how I learned that disparity was that wide is because obviously, like, Team Zealand, like the group of guys that we have assembled that helps run all of the channels that we work on, are all from different countries. And when we started talking about, like, oh, what would you need to go full time or whatever, and they gave me a number, and I was like, are you serious? Or like how much they're making like at their job right now. I was like, if I was making that at a job in the US right now, I would literally I would be starving. Alexander Vosovic. Ooh, he's got the size. Give me a left-sided center back. Give me a left-sided center back. Manzurbek Holmata. Oh my goodness. I love this guy. I kind of want to sign him and put him on my B team because he counts as EU for me because he's from the stands. He's at Paxtakor in the Uzbek League. Yeah, this Manzurbek Holmatov feeling like a B team guy. We'll see. We'll see. I've got tons of money, so it's definitely a deal that I would want to do because I feel like this guy's obviously hugely devalued considering where he is. All right, listen to me. I will pay you 800,000 up front, and then if he makes 50 league appearances for me, I'll pay you 200,000. All right, we're close. 900,000, 200,000. Got it. 250,000 after the appearances, 900,000 up front to Paxtakor, and we get who I believe is a very steady, solid player, Uzbek national team player, to come play in the second division of Spain. That is a nice pickup right there. Young Shua. Jonas Ander. Oh, they're trying to move. Oh, for 95 million. I'm gonna go with a pass on that. I'm gonna go with a pass on that. Thanks so much for playing. Ian Leonard. I had a sub notification that didn't read out. Oh, dang it. Sorry, D-Money. Thanks for helping me with guiding Cheddar from the 10th tier of England to a Champions League title and a treble. One of the best challenges I've ever completed. Can't wait for an even harder one with Vaduz next year. Congratulations, D-Money. Thank you for the 4 months. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. I've had this thing in there for a long time. That it doesn't, the TTS doesn't trigger until you get to 6 months. I honestly don't even really know why. I set that up like 5 years ago. But that's why. It didn't break. Pivoc, thank you for the 4 months. Good to see you. Good to see you, dude. Now Last Strike, thank you for the 18 months. Why couldn't the World Cup Stadium keep any secrets? Because there were too many fans spilling the beans. C. Connell, thank you for the 43 months. Matt Gamer Guy, Hezzy, welcome back. You've been missed. I appreciate it, dude. Welcome back to you. Ulvent, thank you for the 4 months. A pleasure, sir. A pleasure. Into the Sky, wow, he's back. I am. Glad to be back. And Jose Fraguinho said, the return of the king. Sad Portugal didn't meet expectations. Hopefully, Jesus will do better than Timu Krillin. By the way, Z, do you fancy playing some Jackbox with Chad? It would be fun. I've done that once or twice, and unfortunately, it just gets weird pretty quickly. There's usually, unfortunately, and I learned, I've tried it a couple of times, and this is kind of just a rule of thumb. There is somebody that's going to show up and just ruin it for everybody. All right, this kid's at Shamrock Rovers. I kind of want to sign him and give him a chance. He's got really good defensive instincts. Good natural fitness, good, mentality with the professionalism. I think much the same as the Uzbek kid. I want to sign this guy and give him a chance.
Have you forgiven goal line technology?
You know the structure of these deals that I like. I'll give you potential for it to rise to $1 million. Same deal as the Uzbek kid? I'll play Shamrock Rovers, yeah. Nice. There you go. 17-year-old Irish midfielder Ian Leonard. Good find. Good find. Oh, Jose Braguinho's 10 gifted subs. La gifted La Bamba from Jose Fraguinho.
To whoever
Thank you for
stole
the
my
10
copy
gifted.
of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You have my word.
Oh, Silvo, thank you for the 9 months. I got to go ahead and give that one a B minus. But Fraguinho, thank you for making 10 people's days. I'm sorry about Portugal. Many dreams have died at this World Cup. Have I forgiven goal line technology? What did I need to forgive goal line technology for? I don't remember. And Spotbot, thank you for the 48 months. Congrats on 4 years, dude. It's pronounced Owen. Well, now you're just making things up. Oh! The Malia. Dude, I was thinking U.S. national team. The Malia goal line technology thing. Oh, my. The
Hope
PTSD.
you're enjoying the World Cup, Zed.
Oh, the PTSD that just got unlocked by that. Oh, man. No. Yeah, the helicopters are flying back over. Mushadiru Mama. Eduardo Anton. Konstantin Dubavyi. Zurab Meshrikov. Nice. Roy Micheli. William Devlin.
Why is Spain
Hassan
so good at
Zatuni.
soccer? Nobody expects the Spanish in position.
No, we're not letting that one slide. We're not letting that one slide. Any CK3 plan for the coming streams? I mean, yeah, I want to finish the Roman Empire thing. I don't know when. I haven't laid out when I'm going to do that, but I am absolutely going to do that at some point. I want to finish the Roman Empire thing. Guillermo Arbon. I love Arbon. Good player. Mikhail Grecian. Murillo. Really? Still haven't been able to spin an EU nationality from one of the places you've been? That sucks for you. Narcís Cadabia. Yeah, Villarreal's C team. Yeah, you're on the keep a keen eye level. Johnny Pardew. Oh, he's gonna be a freak. He's gonna be a freak. Ali Kamara. Mentally and physically, tremendous player. It's technically where he kind of lets you down. You need more technical players around him for him to be able to thrive. Miroslav Nelmenko, from Dynamo Kyiv to Medalist Kharkiv. This guy could be one of the goalkeepers of this generation, so I'm glad we found him now.
Did you hear about the Japanese clown who rides a motorbike? His name is Yamaha. Hazy, hope you're having a nice home World Cup. Thoughts on Ruben Amorim at AC Milan?
Hey. We're giving it an A. We got to give it an A. I hate it. I had to go emotionally and mentally collect myself after hearing it, but we're giving it an A. We're giving it an A. All right, we finished our scouting report. Nice. And we got 2 transfer offers accepted for an Uzbek midfielder and an Irish midfielder. He's not interested in contract talks as he's just signed a new contract. So let me tell you what. We're going to put a 6-month yes list on there and then come back in 6 months in January and we'll bring him into the B team. All right. Owen Leonard. I don't know about that. That's a little overly optimistic, Owen. I kind of want you to show up at the B team and see if you can get into the first team in the B team. That's kind of what I want. Pelletier took over. Mansour Beck, you fool. Trying to negotiate from a position of weakness, perhaps. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give him the minimum fee that will allow him to play first team ball here. But we are also going to be looking for a $60 million, actually, hold on, a $45 million release clause. A $50 million release clause. He's cool with that. Good. Good deal, Owen. All right, we got one of them. No offers for Yuri Urbanic. What a crying shame. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. All right, we have our transfer offers for Aguirre and Javier. 2 transfer offers that we are both satisfied with. Satisfied-ish with. See if we can get a little more money. But I don't think we're going to get more than $65 million. Rayo Vallecano's taking a big swing on Javier being one of their key players going forward. So we'll see. No, I'm not letting Ruben Sosa go unless he gets that offer from Barcelona that he desperately wants at $77 million. I am not letting him go. Ooh, Gianmarco Villalba's got interest. Come on, baby. All of my problems would be solved if Gianmarco Villalba got an offer. We created an emote for Bill Belichick.
LFG 31 months stealing Zealand twin questionable takes on football and Zealand wonderful memories from Fussblitz and FM 22-2. What prediction against Spain versus Belgium match? I can't wait. After we are friends again, waving hand emoji, waving hand emoji.
Hey Trevor, thank you for the 31 months. All right, we'll get the Bill Belichick emote submitted. Always away day, thank you for the 2 years. Bob the Ninja, thank you for the 29 months. Mr. Choke, thank you for the 60 months. John, welcome to the Hammers. Enjoy the bacon, enjoy the emotes, enjoy your lack of ads, and welcome to an elite online gaming. Yahoo Shua, thank you for the 51 months. TJ McGuffin, thank you for the 2 years. Spotpa, thank you so much for the 48 months. I think I already said that one, but I just wanted to thank you again. How does Mustapich factor into the team this year? Wow, we really need to get rid of one winger. But I think Villalba's the one that makes the most sense. One half space guy. Villalba's the one that makes the most sense. His injury issues, over his 2 years with the team have been very apparent. He's not somebody we can trust to be on the field for us. Ideally, I would give him one more year to figure that out. But I think, I really don't want to give him a new contract with the issues he's had staying on the field.
Yo, gamers just got here. What did I miss?
Do I plan to play the new college football game? No. Absolutely not. So apparently EA is just going to be... I can't wait for the new EAFC to come out because it's going to be an absolute disaster. EA has added a bunch of pay-to-win microtransactions in offline career modes now. Which is just psychotic. Basically, like, if you want to level up your coach in offline mode, you now have to pay. So, yeah, like there is a full-blown riot going on in the college football community. Like, all the creators have started a hashtag college football play don't pay. It's CFB pay. Dude, I can't say it. Hashtag CFB for college football. Play don't pay. And like a bunch of YouTubers have said they're not like. So what's absolutely insane, and this is where I think they like, obviously what they've done is just incredibly scummy and greedy and transparently awful. They invited all of the college football creators in like June to some summit where they showed them the new game. They didn't show them the microtransactions. And they also gave the content creators, as happens pretty frequently, like early access to the game to make content, whatever. And in the early access part of the game, they didn't have the microtransactions in it. And then in a day one patch, they added the microtransactions. How scummy is that? So all the content creators are over here like, yeah, the game's pretty good. This is good. This is bad. Whatever. But they didn't mention they didn't have the opportunity to talk about the microtransactions because they got added right as the game launched. What am I subtly implying? I'm subtly implying that EA is a trash company run by trash people who do not care about you and look at you like a wallet. Because that's the way they're incentivized to look at you. They took on a bunch of corporate debt with the takeover, and they are not really beholden to the stock market anymore, at least because their future is private. And so EA is like, college football is just the beginning. If you play EAFC, this is coming. They are going to add a portfolio of microtransactions to offline modes, to modes that previously didn't have microtransactions in. Like, they are going to add microtransactions into those modes. It's coming. In basically every game that EA makes, it's coming. This is just the first one. It's so... No, okay. They knew people would notice. Right? But... There's so one of my favorite movies is The Big Short, high quality film. Always really enjoyed it, right? There is a line in The Big Short where they basically said they knew it would happen, they just didn't care. And I feel like that line applies pretty well to EA. Like they knew it was gonna be a mess when they released all these microtransactions in college football. They just did the math in their own head, and they just didn't care because they figured they were gonna make more money than they were making before. Fine. You don't want to pay me $15,000. Whatever, man. Everybody's offering for Facundo Aguirre, but nobody wants to pony up with the $12 million to take me to double digits. Oh no, what's this injury? What's this injury? I don't like this injury. He rolled his freaking ankle. Dude, what is going on with this guy's? All right, scout him. Why is this guy on my short list? It's an into contract short list. All right, Kenny Gonzalez. We are loaning out Kenny Gonzalez to once again go show that he belongs at a high level. He's going to play for Levante in the second division. I hope he can prove it. And then I've decided to spend $6 million up front, $14 million overall, $8 million taken on as debt for Francesco Marcangeli. Now, this is a decision I made a couple of weeks ago. This is not an offer that we put out now, and I need to decide how I feel about it. How I feel about Francesco Marcangeli. He's a young 18 on breakthrough prospect playing time, so he's, his salary is pretty high for the B team. So I think he would be a sign and loan within Spain type of guy. But he's young enough. It's not 2 years, right? What's the rule? What's the rule, mate? EU players of the age 18 or younger by 112. Okay, yeah. So he would be exempt from registration this year in the first team. He would be fully exempt from registration this year in the first team. I mean, $6 million up front, $14 million overall for a guy with this type of potential. You got to remember, the level our team is at. If we're having somebody appraised as that type of potential, they're obviously going to be a big-time player. Do we feel like that there's enough opportunities that we could give him over the course of the season that we would want to maybe even keep him around the team? He played 13 matches in Serie A last year as a 17-year-old. He's yet to have a bagman-type season. This would be betting on potential. Unsporting is not the worst. Unflappable
I recently became a
is very
government
good.
whistleblower. My boss at the National Library Service isn't happy, but I will not be shushed.
A-, honestly. I don't know if that just caught me in the right mood. That's a great dad joke. Hey, Quickson's here. Thank you for the 5 months. I'm glad you loved the Adam Cleary collab. Yeah, dude. I don't know why their setup was let's sit in direct sunlight for an hour on a roof somewhere, but it was really cool. He's a nice guy. I'd never met him before. Ark, thank you for the 3 months of the Prime. Hunt, thank you for the 7 months of the Prime. Yo, gamers, what's up? What I missed, we've advanced 2 days and talked about a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to make this deal. I think there's a lot of reasons that this deal makes sense, from the fact that he doesn't need to be registered this year to the fact that, with his kind of potential, I find it very hard to believe that this deal ends up backfiring on us. The EU, to be able to get a guy with this kind of potential in the EU for $6 million up front. What? Yeah, so there's a guy on YouTube, Basilis Kati, who's talking about Kabashvili, the Georgian left back. You just found one of the best young, you found Like, I think he was number 2 on my Hidden Wonder Kid ranking at the beginning of the year. So, yes, he is a very popular gem. He's one of the most popular signings in Football Manager because he's an unbelievably well, like, hidden gem. Very cheap, but has amazing potential. You've made a really nice find. Follow that. Narrator, it would backfire almost immediately. No, I don't think it's going to backfire. All right, I'm signing him. Francesco Marcangeli. We were missing an Italian. We've had one token Italian for years now, and we sold him. Francesco Marcangeli. Doesn't need to be registered. That's beautiful. Javier in a Wolves jersey. Oh my goodness. Are we getting a bidding war? Are we getting a bidding war? 70. Oh, no. Oh, you cheese wheel. I don't need anything complicated. Rayo Vallecano just gave me $65 million on a freaking check. They didn't delay payments. They didn't take on transfer debt. They gave me a $65 million check. And you guys need to at least match that or we're not having this conversation. John Mateo Bahoya. Yeah, I mean, the pace is nice. I don't think he does enough else with it, though. I don't think he does enough outside of that. Did he notice he loaned him back to Parma until the end of the season? All right, I was smart. Then I was smart a couple of weeks ago. That's a good deal. I don't mind that. I didn't know I'd negotiated that. Obviously, I negotiated that a while ago, but optional future fee. I have a bigger fee for him right now. I don't need to do that. Leonardo Silva. Not in Serie B. Sorry, Oscar Bob on the move. I don't want to deal with this Kier conversation because then whatever. I don't want to. What if we just never talk to him? What if I just never talk to him, huh? All right, Rodrigo Lira. We've got 4 teams that are potentially from acceptable leagues. We're not going to send him back to Liga MX. All right, Rodrigo Lira is under contract until the end of next year. He has played 2 years as our B team starting goalkeeper in the Spanish second division. He has not really grown much at all, and we need him to grow, so we need to find a place for him to play. We are not going to send him to La Liga Dos again. I don't really want to send him to Serie B, but we will send him to Eredivisie, where he will be the first choice goalkeeper playing for AZ. All right, good deal. Oh, right, Jens. See, I did pretend that it wasn't a thing long enough that I forgot about it. The deadline hasn't passed. What do you... Jens, the deadline hasn't passed. Since I've been left out of the squad, I mean, just initially, we've got too many guys in the squad right now, but I'm planning on you being around. We're finding a move. It's just if for whatever reason we can't, you're the first guy out. You're the first guy out. Do you understand? He understands. Yeah, the deadline hasn't passed. Jens Kjær has proven that he would be upset obviously not being registered, threatening a potential transfer, which we don't want to go through. We like him. Dude, can Atletico Madrid does this. Once every 2 weeks they show up and they're like sniffing around. Looking to generate funds before look, I don't need the money up front right now. I would take like future fees. I would take 30 million up front and like 50 million in future fees. That would be an acceptable deal for me. I've got a lot of money in the bank right now, especially with this Javier deal going through. There's one of the rare cases where I'm not negotiating for like some sort of immediate flip. I just need to open up the roster spot and get rid of a guy that I can't trust to be there for my team. PSV's looking at Van Rooyen. Somebody's always looking at Van Rooyen. But at the end of the day, they don't make the offer. All right. Owen Leonard, the 17-year-old Irish midfielder, is on his way in for $900,000 up front and a potential to rise to $1.2 million if he plays a bunch of matches for us. Shamrock Rovers midfielder Owen Leonard. Welcome to UD Malia. This is where our scouts are putting in a shift, man. They're putting in a shift. Good find. Owen Leonard, welcome to the team. 17 years young. Oh, his potential actually went up, which is crazy. I'm going to stick him on the B team. Screw it. Put him up on the Bs. That guy's good enough to play La Liga Dos this year. Oh, freaking, what is it? We're good. That's why you don't need to overreact to that inbox message. We're totally fine. We're totally fine. Alejandro Quinteros uncertain about his future. Well, the value's actually not bad, but he doesn't enjoy big matches and shouldn't be on my short list now that we know that. You know? Shouldn't be on my short list now that we know that. It's just that simple. We're not looking to sign anybody unless it's something that makes sense for the future, or I'm not going to yell at him yet. Give me one more round. Unless it's something that makes sense to the future, or somebody that is literally more talented with one of the players that we're going to be using as a starter. Because we got a bit of clutter. We got a bit of clutter on the team. Andreas Amalung. Out in it. Mamadou Traore. That's a good player. Definitely a good player, and I'm not surprised somebody's spending money to get him. Wouldn't play a lot for me, but not a bad investment. All right, this is our last match before we start the season. This friendly against Atletico Melilla. It's 5 days before the start of the year. So let me set the team, as it were. Cañete, put Rubio in. Do 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 do. Revert, Villalba, not Javier, because he's on his way out. Pretty sure he's leaving, but we'll go ahead and give Aguiar a little run. Evande, Salvador, Otero. We're going to go with that, and Ferreros is somebody down, or somewhere down here, right? Yeah. All right, Gutierrez, Savona, and Ferreros as the rotated defense. Casado and Sarai are good to go in the middle, match sharpness wise. So we're just gonna go with Paul Duran.
Finally, the Z has come back to Melia.
Finally, he has indeed. All right, we're going to move Duran to the deep lying playmaker spot. Sessa there. Leo Versalis is just going to, I guess, keep himself sharp. Or we're going to go ahead and give Cesar a run over there. All right. That's final friendly vibe, and then we'll pick our starting 11 for the first match of the year. Cancel the assignment. I don't want to report on that guy every time he plays. Thanks. I do not. We got to figure out what we're going to do with Joao Aguiar. Because with the number of signings we were able to make, Aguiar doesn't really fit into the team anymore. And that sucks for him. Oh, I accidentally did that on multiple guys. Love that for me. Okay. Confirmed captains, Mbambo and Angel Cañete. La Liga TV rights raise. They've signed a $1.6 billion 6-year television deal for La Liga that gives us a 3% boost in TV income. Nice. The money's flowing in Spain. That feels good. I mean, relative to the Premier League, where they're probably signing a $25 billion TV deal. But I'll take a new TV deal. Take a new TV deal. Feeling good. All right, a little 11-0. We thank Atletico Malia for being the punching bag for us right at the end of the season. We help fund their club the entire year by playing that one friendly and giving them the money, you know. It's charity, basically. Ugh. Really? We're taking him out for 6 to 7 weeks with this? That was the length of his injury. It was the length of his injury. Gibert removed from shortlist. I think that's fair. I don't think that guy's going anywhere. Delman Villamil with a goal. All right. Paddy Ireland. That dude who his name is Paddy Ireland, but he doesn't have an EU nationality. Riddle me that one. Wahid Adamu. We thought about signing him for a second. We just have better players we want to invest those minutes in. It's an investment. Leonardo Silva. This guy's playing that Malia B ball. Played
What's
one
your
full
thoughts
year
been
of
on
Malia
this
B.
World Cup so far?
This is Coruña. Why would I? He's starting in the second division. Why would I loan him down to the third division? Like, how in the world does that make any sense? Malia B backup Nathan Owen did a loan to the third division last year. How about what was that question? Thoughts on this World Cup? I mean, it's been. I think overall, it's just been great. It's been a lot of fun. We've been treated to a really large number of good matches. Dramatic endings, late goals, you know, really intense, really good matches. We haven't gotten a lot of Colombia v Switzerland or France against Morocco. We haven't been treated to too many of those, which is good. You know, because those are the types of matches that make a World Cup more forgettable, right? All right, I need to break out the notes. What's this guy's name? Rafa Araujo. All right, I'm on the senior team level. You gonna tell me where he is, or we're just gonna... Oh, okay. B Squad, got it. So if this offer is not better than B Squad, which it's not, then he stays. Okay, Traore. Zivairo Havikote has been showing dramatic improvements. Well, I would freaking hope so. He had a great season last year with 14 goal contributions in La Liga. Everybody thought I was crazy for bringing in Zivairo, the Flying Dutchman. He's adding some weak foot as well, which is going to really add to his game. All right, what's blowing us up here? Jacopo Tessitore. Why am I all over Jacopo Tessitore? He looks bad. All right, we have 7 agent offers. Martin Guione is one of them. Abdulkadir Hasanov. I can't afford whatever you think I can afford on that. He's playing somewhere I can't go. Okay. Oh, the agent is offering me Jesus. Dude, if I could, I would. I love Jesus Rodriguez. I think he's a great player. But it's like Romeo and Juliet. We're kept apart. I have wanted that guy on my team for like 4 years. But there's never been that opportunity where there's just a foreign spot available on the team that we're going to spend on him. Romeo and Jesus. Exactly. Hilarious. Thank you for the 90 months. Oh my goodness. We're closing in on 100. Oh my goodness. Glenn, thank you for the 27 months. Job bets. Congrats on half a century. Well, you welcome back, man. You welcome back. Streams are back? Damn right, Steven. Damn right. Jacobo Ramon. He's okay. Oscar Bob. I know they're trying to move Oscar, but he's absolutely going to transfer before anything else happens. Justin Vandereets, Juan Cruz Meza. Surplus to requirements, but like, oh, he doesn't like big matches. Oh, I see you. Adnan Al-Zarai. Guy's going to be a good Saudi keeper that you recognize at the World Cup once every 4 years for like 4 or 5 straight World Cups. That's where he's headed. Lee Yoon. Yeah, I think 23, we can go ahead and call that one off. Lautaro Rosa. Guilherme. Oh, he has EU nationality. That's why I'm still looking at him. Amin Farhat from Clermont Foot, 21-year-old German forward. I mean, with the 10 pace, man. You got to have a lot more about you if you're going to be able to make the 10 pace gimmick work. And I'm not seeing that right now. Nico Sandoval. You're no. Well, he's been on the B team yes list for a while. But I think the amount of money that he would be asking for to make the move is going to like disqualify him from being able to be a part of the B team. And so he's just going to be a good short South American center back playing in South America for his career.
Oh my God, Melilla Is Back. What did I miss today?
We've gotten a couple of good transfer offers. We've got a $65 million deal on the table for Javier, $9.5 million for Facundo Aguirre, which is not really what we wanted, but it's not far off what we were hoping we'd run into. Oh, guess what? He's a left wing back and central midfielder. God, he's so good. Resolute, level-headed. Good behind-the-scenes professionalism indicator as well. His potential is capped. His potential is capped. He's not on the limitless pill. And if you're dropping 51 million, that's his release clause. If you're dropping 51 million for Andre Girard, I mean, we signed Javier for free like 18 months ago. Or a little over 12 months ago, I think. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but we signed him for free. We need to sell attackers. Yeah, I know. We That's why Javier's on the way out and Facundo Aguirre is on the way out, because we have our 6 center backs this year and Facundo Aguirre is not one of them, and so we need to unload him after the long process for Facundo Aguirre. I'm going to offer 35. If I can go below his release clause, then all right. He's not expecting anything from us right now. So always important to read. We don't have to talk to him right now. Chad, this is a great deal. We thank Javier for his time, signed for free, came in, played one season as a prospective wonder kid. We didn't see the development that made us overly excited, and his potential did drop. So he became, somebody that was like viable on the chopping block with the amount of interest that he was getting. And Rayo Vallecano have shipped over 65 million with all that money that's floating around the league all of a sudden. And Javier is making a big move. There's a full upfront payment of 65 million for Javier. Look, and some would say we revived his career after he was let go for free by Sevilla. Couldn't get that regular first team time, and then played 23 matches for us over the past year. Obviously, Vallecano's betting on him becoming a reliable full-time star in La Liga, but that's another big injection of cash and capital into your favorite La Liga team, UD Malia. A big injection of cash and capital. All right, I totally left the scouting update after we put the offer in on Gerard, so let's keep going. That was my bad. I totally just forgot that we found him in the middle of a scouting search. Marco Mizic. Yoon Jung-hwa, 23-year-old from Jeonnam Dragons. No. Chohojin. Dario Jezevich. VRL Petruj. Did they re-sign him? No. I guess. He's end of contract. Blas Escobar, Paraguay's star forward players at Flamengo in Brazil. We can use some football terrorism on our team. Alexander Davidenko. I'm waiting for him to show a little more development. Oh, my boy, Pool Rodriguez. It's his actual name. Not only that, it's his full name. Screw the middle name. He can't back out. He's just Pool Rodriguez forever. No middle name. Am I ready to jump in? Pretty solid pickup line at the bars, Hey, ladies, want to take a swim? Nice to meet you, Pool Rodriguez. Okay. For the name alone, we're going to keep an eye on this guy for a year. Altin Almuka, Albanian center back on LA Galaxies. Very good player. Getting that MLS money. Danny Ali, the star Macedonian forward who is genuinely a stud. But I don't think he's going to be on the Wonder Kid list. I think he gets moved to maybe Kylian Bellew. Matty Mallinson.
Is Manzambi the Argentina defeater we've been awaiting?
Somebody said Manzambi's not going to play the rest of the tournament. If that's true, that is terrible, terrible news for them. If that is true, that is just awful news. But if Manzambi can play, I think Manzambi will be the best. Argentina's group was? I can't remember at all. Saudi Arabia. No, they weren't in the Cape Verde group. That was Uruguay. I'm thinking of Uruguay. Algeria. It was the Algeria-Austria group. I think Manzambi would be the best attacker they've played the entire tournament, then. I think I can say that pretty comfortably. If he can play. Yeah, I mean, Austria and Algeria both went out pretty meekly in the round of 32, so I don't think that group showed a lot of quality, and then they've played Cape Verde and Egypt. Hey, Count Victor, I'm glad the videos have been helping, dude. Then they just play Mo Salah? Bro, you're so right. My bad. You're so right. I don't know why I discounted Egypt, because obviously they have Mo Salah. Now, Marmouche was playing for Argentina in that game. It was like a weird thing they had going on. Too harsh? Oh, Edgar. Edgar again. Yeah, Marmouche, the sleeper agent. He's a big Messi fan. Went out there like, I am going to play terribly for the king. Kim Song-yong. Christophe Pouton. Oscar Maldonado. I hate the fact that countries have any rules at all about who you can sign to play for your teams. I think that's something that's always going to bother me. I think everybody should take the German league approach, where there just is no foreign player limit at all. It's just something, the more that you look at, the less it makes sense. All right, this guy's a Saudi player that is like legitimately bordering world class here. Salih Al-Dasari. Salah Al-Dasari at RB Leipzig, who I'm sure paid a very pretty penny to get him, but they're in Germany, and it doesn't matter that he's from Saudi Arabia, so they freaking can. He's lighthearted and jovial, enjoys big matches. Kid's a stud. A stud. And I could never have signed him. Tielemans just injured himself. Are you serious? Please tell me we have somebody in the stadium watching the warm-up that is live posting in the chat. Right, apparently Pablo Revert's getting better. God, I love the UD Malia Academy. This is the best academy I've ever had in any save, and it's like not even close. The number of players that just battle their way into the first team and like are actually able to contribute from our academy is insane. What's Revert's value? That's ridiculous. That's absurd. Rodolfo Mazzoni. That sucks. There's another high potential academy kid down with an injury. Got a couple of those now. All right, we have 2 days until we play Celta Vigo. Dos days. All right, let me talk to the agent. He isn't generating any interest. I see the interest. Are you blind?
No more
I
of this World
see
Cup
it
nonsense. So glad
with
to be
my
back watching
eyes.
our favorite team bottle a lead at home against Rayo Vallecano. Up the Melilla.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We gotta move one attacking player, or else we're not gonna have room for everybody. Somebody has to leave. Somebody's got to get a lot of money, and it's not Pablo, because I love my academy boys. Pablo has earned his right to play in this first team. We are not going to launch him into the sun for $15 million. We're going to move somebody else. Do you think I just put Gianmarco Villalba on the transfer list and we just shop Gianmarco Villalba? Or do we give him one more year and we find somebody else that we can move? He just, it's been 18 months of Gianmarco Villalba, and it's been 18 months of Gianmarco Villalba, and he just hasn't done it. He hasn't stayed fit for any significant stretch of time. Do we give Gianmarco Villalba one more year, chat, or do we put him on the transfer list and try and really aggressively move him now? 5 days left on Navas. Allison Lopes Teixeira's 9 days to 3 weeks. So those two of our big offseason signings. Both are going to miss the opening game, which is hilarious. The problem is, who the hell else do we move? I've promised Jens Kjær he's going to be around the team. Our stars are Cañete, Sarai, Otero, Villalba, and Allison Lopes Teixeira when he's not hurt. But Avande, Bongani Van Rooyen. Going to be a little tough to satisfy that, but he's a weirdly needy guy. Lucas Knifen. And then we have our regular starters, Casado, Rubio, Urbanic, Sessa, Mbambo, Jens Kjær. Why is Sambasar? He's not eligible, right? Yeah, he's not eligible. It's just not showing up. Oh, there it is. We got our goalkeepers, Janar and Tim Schmidt. We're just waiting to see if we get an offer for our starting goalkeeper, because then we're going to need to activate those guys and start Ovi Ejahiri in the goggles. The blades on. Oh, yeah, we don't have any room for Andor Ortega either. Guess I need to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with Aguiar and Ortega. Aguiar's under contract for a while. Would he want to play for the B team? No, his wage is too high. Offers Ja Aguiar out for loan, see if he can stabilize his life. Andrew Ortega's under contract for 2 years. He's a good player, man. Every time I look at him, I'm like, she's a good player. But we only have 25 guys, and he's not one of them. We got to start moving. Andrew Ortega for loan. All right, that solves problems that I didn't come here to solve. Now to try and solve the problem that I did come here to solve. I'm not moving Revert. Not only is Revert good, he's versatile. Incredibly smart. I love Revert in a late game situation. Who's the forward, man? In a perfect world, it's Yuri Urbanic, I think. Because I think Urbanic has showed us that he isn't really going to grow too much past what he is. And he's not somebody that at the level we want to play at is going to be able to consistently produce in such an important spot where he's primarily a center forward. But right now, he's a starting striker. Dude, who's the player, man? Who's the player? You try and move Urbanic aggressively. Maybe we transfer list Yuri Urbanic. Opens up the spot for Jens Kjær. That raises the question, who the hell starts at striker with both of the strikers injured. Villalba. Villalba would then start at striker. I just put him as a channel forward and just stretch the defense towards the corners and then have somebody like Havakote crash behind him. I think it would work well. But I think outside of that, we don't have anybody else that would be able to play striker with both Lopes Teixeira and Navas out if we move Urbanic, because Aguiar is no longer registered. He's never been that bad. He's never been that bad. I'm struggling with this. He's only 21. You don't want to give up on a guy like this too early. Because it's not like he's ever been bitterly disappointing. He's just not been a bag man. You know, he was overshadowed by guys like Ruben Gerardo. He had to be loaned out because of an excess of players for the second half of a season, which that ended up being hilariously bad. And then last year, he kind of got it going towards the back half of the year. What about the new Italian? We loaned him back to Parma. It was already negotiated into the deal. Kind of wish he was here now, though, because that would definitely give us the striker cover while these two guys are hurt. He doesn't feel like he's going to break out. Yeah, I mean, nobody liked Sessa originally, but then all of a sudden the guy was playing every game. No, we're opening up a spot for Jens Kjaer to be in the team this year. That's what we're working on. That's what we're opening up. All right, I'm going to put him on the transfer list. I'm going to make the call. Yuri Urbanic, transfer listed. I'm making the call. Oh, they took it. Oh, that's gonna. Oh, that's gonna spice this up. Really, Arsenal's going after Mauricio Gonzalez. That I find hard to believe. I don't know, Emu. I know that's who the Aussies lost to, but I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know a lot about it. They accepted the Gerard offer. Dude, nobody is willing to spend $10 million on this guy. It's hilarious. Like, we have two offers accepted for 9.5, and that is just what is going to be accepted. So I'll tell you what. If you want to join the 9.5 parade just to make sure that Aguirre signs a contract with one of these teams, by all means, put 9.5 million on the table. We're just going to make sure that he signs a deal with one of these teams. We're going to give him a bunch of teams that are able to meet whatever his demands are to sign with them. I'm surprised we aren't getting, we're not getting bigger teams, but feels like a pretty good deal. All right, Andre Girard, we have had a bid of 35 million accepted, which feels like that feels pretty low. This kid's 18. He's got left wing back and central midfield. You can play three positions in our system right now. 35. I was debating it at 51. 35 million straight up is a good price. It's a good price. It's a good price. I'd be really surprised at myself if I didn't do this at this point. I mean, it's $16 million less than what I thought we would be spending originally. Charleroi from the Jupiler Pro League. Andre Girard, who turns 19 this year. Yeah, I'm buying. Now, keep in mind, his potential is not full 5-star, but it is still significant. Resolute, level-headed, indicates a pretty good mentality overall as a player. He favors his left foot, but he has a reasonable right foot, which makes him playing in the midfield not like a liability footedness-wise. I love him, like, versatility-wise. I think even, late-game pinch, you can play this guy as a wide center back on the left. He has the ability to do that. He doesn't have the size, but if you want, like, an overlapping center back, somebody that's going to be able to pick out a pass and make a play, he's a guy that could pop up in that position. It's a tremendous signing. And I think if we bring him in, obviously we're going to have to move another midfielder because we're already dealing with like a real crunch of roster spots. And I think that we're looking at Paul Duran and Francesco Sessa, who's kind of our second midfield behind Sarai and Mark Casado. I think we're looking at a world where we're going to have to move somebody there. All right, we have interest. Nottingham Forest apparently is interested in Yuri Urbanik. The initial market value transfer listing is $51 million for Yuri. I'm going to transfer list him at $62 million. I don't want to give them too much of a bargain price right now. We'll see if Nottingham Forest interest stays up at $62 million. Or we loan out one of our fullbacks, potentially. We have Rosales and Paniete, who are both starting. Then Rubio and Bangani Van Rooyen can play both sides as well. Or you just sell Bangani Van Rooyen. But his value it's on the low side right now. His value is on the low side. I'm not, we've gotten a $50 million offer for Van Rooyen that he didn't accept. So that's not a direction that I want to go. All right, Sambasar. We'll get your loans sorted right now. So Barcelona's not there. I mean, I really don't care. Like, they don't meet his minimum fee release clause, I'm good. And we'll start loaning these goalkeepers out then. And then we have Cesar, whose full name, this is my favorite thing we've run into in this save, is Cesar Navraki. He has Polish citizenship and counts as an EU player. Remarkable. We didn't even know that when we signed him. They unearthed the sacred texts.
R.I.P. boiling water, you will be missed.
Seems to me this team is full of young players. That's true. But we have Savona and Casado and Duran, who are supposed to be able to level things out. Now, of course, if we sign this midfielder, Paul Duran is the most likely guy that's going to be on the chopping block unless we're going to try and move Francesco Sessa. I suppose we could. The value's obviously there. We signed him for $5 million a while ago. He's played so many matches, man. Duran is a backup like playmaker with his like mental ability is always so nice. So steady with the ball. And he's added so much to his game physically. He used to be the slowest dude ever. Like, his mental ability and his technical floor just allow him to hang and contribute to the team. And him having been with the team for so long is such a steadying presence. In a team where there is often a significant amount of turnover. Paul Durant's been here for so long. All right, I'm going to sign this guy. There isn't a world where I don't sign this guy. We're going to figure out how we make it work later. I am going to sign this guy. There's no world where I don't sign this guy. All right, minimum fee release clause of $127 million, sold. Salary after reaching club league games, he wants it escalating to 2.4 and 3.2, and a yearly salary raise of 15%. I'd like to just know what I'm spending. So we'll start at 2.4 million, just as your 5-year deal, and we'll start there and negotiate. So you want a yearly salary raise and an escalator from there, 2.6. Because what he's asking for is basically like 5 million plus by the time this contract ends. Oh, I expected him to negotiate more than that. 2.6 million per year for 5 years is an incredibly solid deal. And registration-wise, if we're looking at our registration, we are near it. We are near it. So that means that we have to, if we're going to... So Yuri Urbanic leaving, he's on 3.1 million. Yuri Urbanic leaves on 3.1 million. Then we would register Jens Kjær, who is not on that. He's on 2.3. So that frees up $800,000 of actionable wage against the balance. Okay. And then whoever we would have to unregister would have to be somewhere farther away. So Paul Duran's on 1 point. Oh, dude. It'd be so close. If it's Paul Duran that we unregister, we'll see.
Cool.
He'll come in and then we'll like hit the buttons and see what happens. He'll come in and we'll hit the buttons and see what happens. It's gonna be unbelievably close. I think it's gonna be within like a couple 100,000. I think we're on the good side if it's Paul Duran that leaves, because he's on a $1.4 million deal. Oh, okay. But we don't even know if we're going to get him. So we don't need to go crazy right now. We don't even know if we're going to get him. All right, somebody else could swoop in. There are other teams interested. Oscar Havlin. Under a transfer bid from Slavia Prague for $4.8 million. Have fun. Suvyan Buzaidi. No, I'm not. He's 16 years old. I'm not loaning him out. Let him play in the youth team and let him develop. Weirdest player on my team. He's like if the Paraguayan national team was just distilled in my mind. He's all like, he's actually added a lot of pace. He has no technical ability whatsoever. But this guy, he works his butt off. Plays hard. He's got a great mentality. He was the number 38 wonder kid in the world at one point. I don't know. He came out of our youth academy. I think we send Joe Aguiar back to Portugal. He becomes an important player at Guimarães. That makes sense to me. All right, Ander Ortega. You're available for loan. We're going to offer you out for loan again. Wait. We took so long getting reacquainted with the save, chat. The match starts in 3 minutes. All right, that's okay, because guess what? We're streaming tomorrow. We're streaming tomorrow as well, so I'll see you guys then. Stream is tomorrow. Not Legit Camber, thank you for the 3 years. Fitton, thank you for the Baker's half century and the 51 months. Kamina, thank you for the 8 months. Suntail is sick, thank you so much for the 20. Boy Blue, thank you for the 14. Neiman, thank you for the 44. Rambling Epic, thank you for the 73. We're streaming tomorrow. Hell yeah. Enjoy the match. Love you guys. Thank you for all the subs. Welcome back into the streams. New video out tomorrow. Should be great. Hope you guys are able to watch it. Have a great day. Enjoy the match. Yes, of course, I think Spain is going to win. I think Spain against France is going to be the match of the tournament. That's where they're headed. Bye, guys.